Welcome back. I'm Andrew, your crypto guy on the internet, and we have some good things to work with for once. The CPI data came out for July, and it was better than expected. We thought inflation would go from like 9.1 to 8.7. That's what we assumed. But it was actually 8.5. So it's still historically terrible, but slightly better than expected. And so the market had a nice little jump today, including tech and crypto, big time. Now, Ethereum is still performing the best overall in the crypto space. Their weekly's looking strong. Their merge is coming up, and it's smooth sailing so far. We'll see if they have any hiccups, but they have one more test net that they're doing, and the official date for the real merge is September 19th, unless something changes. So there's a lot of positivity behind Ethereum. Big money, people moving into Ethereum if they didn't already have some. Bitcoin also flashed a signal on market Cipher that has only happened a few other times. A green dot on the weekly. All right, so let's see here. It's happened two more times back in like 2015, but there wasn't much data to go on. The price was so small, it was kind of inconsequential. But then we had one at the end of 2018 that signaled the beginning of a nice run. So it was, like $3,500, $3,600. That green dot appeared, which is like a buy signal. And then over the next 6 months, the price ran all the way up to 13, almost 14,000. So we're getting that same signal, the green dot, and that could signal a nice little bull run for us. Not the bull run, but a nice relief rally. Another thing pointing to that. Now here's that blood diamond from a while back on the weekly, which had never happened before, right? That spelled certain doom, and at the time when this first appeared, it wasn't yet confirmed for the week, so I made a video going like, well, I don't know, fellas. We got to see how this plays out. Boy, did it play out. We had the worst, longest drop ever, and now, the last few weeks have been green, with 3.5, almost 4 green weeks in a row. Now, they're not amazing green weeks, but they are positive. So we're seeing a little bit of a relief, okay? Open interest, how much leverage is on the system? We're at about almost 11 billion, which is a little more bold than before. Really, we want this interest to get flushed out. It's nowhere near its all-time highs that I remember of like 19 or 20 billion when everybody was just throwing money at leverage. So people are more cautious now still. The Fear and Greed Index hasn't updated yet to show that CPI data. It should be somewhere in the 40s. I think people are feeling better now. Another thing to argue that we've seen the bottom already is that Pi cycle bottom is still playing out, okay? The last couple times this happened spelled the bottom of that cycle, and it didn't go immediately up, but that was generally the time to buy before our next major bull run, okay? So here's the previous one we had at the end of 2018, which was also showed as a green dot on Bitcoin's weekly. Where did it go? Here it is right here. That's mirrored by this Pi cycle bottom, same thing. And so here we have another Pi cycle bottom at the same time as market Cipher showing that weekly green dot. I mean, this is some heavy ammunition on the side of the people saying that we've already seen the bottom. There's always future bottoms, there's always future tops, but now would be a time to DCA some. I'm not financial advice, but I've DCA'd some lower than this current number, but I don't mind stacking a little bit more. I might wait for a bit of a retrace. But like I said, we're pretty much in the clear. There are no more scary events until the next CPI report, which hopefully is lower than 8.5. That would signal that we're getting this inflation crap under control. And then Jerome Powell comes out at the end of September. He tells us what he's going to do, and that'll clarify things even further. And then you have the midterm elections, and we'll see how that plays out for crypto. But generally, Republicans are very pro-crypto. If you get more Republicans in the seats, that might help us overall. So that's a good thing to look forward to. Gary Gensler is coming after everybody. Doesn't matter who you are in the crypto space, even Coinbase. Although Coinbase has BlackRock in their corner, which is like having the richest guy in the world agree with you, and now Gary Gensler comes out and he goes, well, actually, and he goes, I think Now that BlackRock is teamed up with Coinbase, Gensler doesn't really have much ammunition anymore. He's not strong enough to beat BlackRock. So the way Gary Gensler operates for the SEC is usually you're supposed to legislate like this. So someone draws up a bill, and then it's voted on and passed, and now that bill becomes a law. And now everybody has to follow that law. If you don't follow the law, you get in trouble, right? Easy enough. You legislate that way. What Gary Gensler likes to do, instead of waiting for a law to be drawn up for people to follow, he just sues people. Because he has infinite taxpayer money at the SEC. So he'll sue somebody like Ripple or XRP saying, you're operating as a security. And then Ripple goes, what makes you think that? You didn't draw up the rules. We're operating what we think we should do, but we've been asking you for some regulation, proper legislation. Name the rules and the boundaries for us to follow, and we'll do that for you. But you can't sue me and say I'm a security because I haven't been properly defined as anything yet. We're just kind of guessing. So Gary Gensler's going after Coinbase and any other American exchange that holds some obscure crypto that may or may not be a security. We don't have the regulation yet, so there's no real way to define it. Only kind of like a loose Howey test, which doesn't really fit a lot of these crypto companies. So what Gary likes to do is he sues first, bleeds that little company dry, wins the case because the other company runs out of money, so they win the case, and then he can point to that case and say, see, all similar things are based on this now. So because we beat XYZ crypto, we've labeled it a security because we won that case, and now everybody else is a security. That's what Gary's trying to do. He doesn't want to wait for this regulation to actually happen, which Congress and everybody's deliberating slowly, because once that regulation is out in the open, everybody can follow the rules, the SEC loses all that power. They can't just go suing everybody and taking money from everybody anymore because the rules are out in the open. So it's legislation through litigation. Sue first and ask questions later. Not come out with the laws first to make sure everyone follows it and then go after the people who don't follow the law. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's not how Gary likes to operate. So no one really likes Gary. Wall Street and crypto alike doesn't like him. Now, he's doing his job too much, where it's like, okay, hang on a second. Let people follow a law first before you accuse them of breaking a law. But anyway, that's just my rant on Gary. There's a big petition to get rid of him. They got thousands of signatures already. And I think with BlackRock teaming up with Coinbase, he's going to have to back off, or they will buy the SEC and have him fired. Okay, that's how big BlackRock is. Anyway, just a bit of a rant. So we had one more thing that I wanted to point out. Ukraine is losing the war, okay? They're not going to tell you that, but that's really what's happening. They're making action figures. It's a big joke. He's on the cover of Vogue. They're losing with our money. But there was a photo here. Look at this picture. This is the best picture I've seen in a long time. Okay, so for context, this took place at the end of March. This is some Ukrainian kids fleeing, and they're in Poland somewhere in a line, and they're trying to figure out where to put them. Okay, it's a bad spot. So look at this kid's face. Now, as a photographer in the area, there's plenty of people crying, "Oh, where's my baby? Have you seen my daughter? Where's my husband?" Like, everybody's sad. But the photographer went, no, this kid. This is the kid right here. So he's got his little sister who doesn't know what's happening. Are we going to Disneyland? He's got his Goonie friends back here, Naruto. Are there toys? But this kid, that's not a boy anymore. That is a man on a mission who's still in a small body. So I've been reading a bunch of old history books about old war tactics, you know, like Genghis Khan and the Romans and the Persians, the Byzantines, right? All these old armies and what they used to do. And the main thing that they used to do that we don't really do anymore is when they would invade a town or a village, they would make sure to kill all the boys, which seems evil. Well, you're just killing children? You can't do that. Well, they go, hey, if you invade a village and they have 100 boys, you line up all 100 boys, 99 of them will be crying and begging for their mommy or their life. But there's that one boy out of 100 who looks back at you like this. He's like, you want to let me go? I'm small now, but later I'm going to be big. This boy, he's on a mission of revenge now. So instead of being Goonie and playing Pokemon like he was, now he's getting straight A's. He's reading up on history and politics and economics. He joins the military, tops of his class, takes sniper school, best they've seen in 50 years. And then he becomes a general, a 3-4-star general, and then he goes back to Russia 50 years later and annihilates all of them. His whole life's purpose now is revenge for this moment. He's just old enough, trying to be the strong, bigger brother, to realize how fucked up this is. So this is the picture of the year. And now we don't know who this kid is, but remember this face. We might see this face again a generation from now. He's like the next Putin. The kid's mad. So, either way, we're all making money while we still can. I'm happy to be around here. This is good. I think we're in cruise control for a little while. Enjoy the small gains. Oh, one more thing. Tesla. We have an official date on their split. The 25th is when it hits the books. So if you're going to buy Tesla, get some like at least a week before this. So you have... like, just pick up some by a week from now, okay? So what is it, 8-10? Promise yourself by the 17th, if you were going to buy Tesla, get yourself some so you can make certain that you enjoy the split. You know, I think we're going to win this battle, all right? SEC doesn't have anything left on XRP. All they're doing is delaying and denying. They don't have a case anymore against Ripple. Now, is Ripple and XRP, are they any good? Like, should you buy Ripple or XRP? Not necessarily. Not really. But they're kind of like the tip of the arrow in litigation against the SEC. And XRP has enough money to where they can fight these bastards forever. And the SEC doesn't really have a case. They don't really have evidence. There's no rules that were broken because they weren't defined yet. And so XRP is just like hanging on because they have donors that will keep them in court if they have to. And something's going to break. Either this case breaks first and the SEC wins through force, or the regulation comes out and then all the rules are clear for everybody, and then the SEC is going to have to drop this case because it was based on things that didn't exist yet. So that's my conclusion. Things are going to be all right. Maybe we've reached the peak, but really we need confirmation. I need to see this next data report for next month. And I need to see that continue to go down. I need to see like 8% inflation or lower than that. Okay, well, it's still really bad. So like it's slightly less than before, but it's still historically terrible. But we do see a light at the end of the tunnel, and that's why the market has bounced a little bit. Have a great day.